I tested ChatGPT to find me the best Airbnb markets in Colorado, and the results? A bunch of places where you literally cannot do an STR investment. Now, my test was Colorado specific, but it has implications for investors all across the country. The number one question my STR clients ask me, and the question that I see over and over again on real estate forums like Bigger Pockets, is this: what are the best markets for Airbnb? I know how to answer that question, but what about the world's most powerful AI? I asked the question several different ways, but every time the responses were dangerously inaccurate. More than half of the cities recommended by AI I know to be ineligible for an STR investment, all for various reasons, a nuance that ChatGPT just couldn't seem to grasp. So in this video, I'm going to show you the obvious and the subtle ways that ChatGPT gets Airbnb markets so wrong, and how you can protect yourself from losing money. And stick around to the end and I will answer the question myself by revealing my favorite city to buy an STR in Colorado right now. My experiment started with a simple question: what are the best cities in Colorado for STRs? After a few seconds, it delivered a chart with 8 cities, one of which immediately raised a red flag in my mind. Easily one of the most desirable cities in the state. Attractive lifestyle, ChatGPT said. Strong demand. That city is Boulder, Colorado, the wealthy, hippie college town northwest of Denver. So what's the problem? Well, on its surface, AI feels like a shortcut, right? You just type in best Airbnb markets and boom, you've got your investment strategy. But the thing is, AI is trained on scraped data, blog posts, outdated articles, and some of the sources it uses are great, like this one that tells you to watch out for primary residence rules. Oh, that's me. But other sources are not so good. And the source of this information for ChatGPT was an article from Hostaway, one of the largest STR software companies. This list is problematic for so many reasons, including its highlighting of Boulder. So back to the question, what's the problem with it being on a list of best STR cities? Well, the problem is that Airbnb investments have been illegal in Boulder for more than 7 years. So the first mistake that ChatGPT made was looking at cities that are trendy instead of cities where STR investments are legal. But as I soon discovered, ChatGPT is recommending cities where STR investments are legal, and yet the lack of context around its answers could cost you financially. I care about this topic because it's my business. I'm James Carlson. I'm a realtor here in Colorado focused on short-term rental investors. I've helped nearly 100 clients find a vacation rental, be it in Denver or Colorado Springs or Breckenridge or basically anywhere in the mountains of Colorado. A lot of my clients are interested in an Airbnb right now because they want to take advantage of 100% bonus depreciation. I don't have time to go into it, but just know that it's a legal way for STR investors to save tens of thousands of dollars on their taxes. If you're interested in an STR in Colorado, reach out to me at the email in the description below. Another city recommended by ChatGPT is the so-called Gateway to the Rocky Mountain National Park. It's a town that makes for a profitable STR because, as ChatGPT notes, it is a top summer destination and has strong ADRs. That city is Estes Park, and vacation rental investment properties are totally legal there. But here's where things get tricky, because even when ChatGPT is reading the regulations, it seems to be missing some really key notes about it. Yes, STR investments are legal in Estes Park, but they have a cap on the number that they allow, and they are well past that cap. In fact, they stopped taking applications for their waitlist 4 years ago. Why AI doesn't know this, I don't know, because it's right there on the city's STR homepage. Now, there were actually some really good recommendations on the list, including the Colorado market that is my favorite place to buy an STR. But I think this fact actually makes the list more dangerous because it adds an air of legitimacy to it, and it makes it hard for STR investors to separate out the profitable Airbnb cities from the cities where you just cannot do it at all. So the mistake here isn't using AI, it's trusting AI without double checking, and that's certainly true for this next city as well. This isn't just about Colorado. Every state, every city has its own regulatory framework around Airbnb, and I guarantee you ChatGPT is making the same mistakes there. Another city that AI kept recommending was this small little town in southwest Colorado where there is the potential for great returns according to ChatGPT. That town is Pagosa Springs, and just like Estes Park, they totally allow non-owner occupied STRs. But what ChatGPT did not read in the municipal code is that they only allow you to have an STR investment after you've owned the home for 2 years. I mean, what Airbnb investor wants to buy a property they can't rent out for 24 months? Hey, if you found this Airbnb advice helpful so far, hit that like button and subscribe so that you don't miss my next video. One final town I will mention here because ChatGPT really advocated for it. It is the only city that showed up on all of its lists, and in fact, ChatGPT singled it out at the top of the 3 best cities that it recommended. And that is Colorado Springs, the state's second biggest city and a huge draw for military families and outdoor enthusiasts. And like the previous 2 I mentioned, this city completely allows for STR investment properties. There are no hard caps across the city. But the nuance that ChatGPT seemed to miss is that Colorado Springs requires that the home be multi-unit zoning and at least 500 feet away from another non-owner occupied STR. And I know from my work there that these restrictions essentially blot out the entire city from eligibility. So again, ChatGPT wasn't completely wrong, but being even partially wrong could lead to total losses for an unsuspecting investor. Hey, before I tell you the Colorado market that I like most for STRs right now, the places that I mentioned above are only a few of the numerous cities that ChatGPT recommended and that you should definitely not buy in. Durango is on that list, but it should be out because they have a cap on the number and they are past that cap. Jefferson County shouldn't be on the list because they have onerous application standards and they have literally stripped licenses away from hosts for no reason. Aurora, a suburb of Denver, is on there for I don't know why, because they have a primary residence rule and have for years and years. Woodland Park was mentioned, and this is funny because it seems that ChatGPT got tired of just recommending cities and decided to recommend that I invest in a very particular $450,000 home to operate as an Airbnb. An Airbnb that would not be allowed because the citizens of Woodland Park voted to ban Airbnb 2 years ago. And Denver. This might be the most inexplicable inclusion on the list. They're kind of the OG of cracking down on Airbnb. STR investment properties have been illegal there for 8 years. It's filed actual felony charges against numerous parties for operating Airbnbs illegally there. You can see that in news stories here, and here, and here, and here. I don't know how ChatGPT missed this. So yeah, do not invest in Denver. So I will say there is one condo building in Denver that has a hotel license that allows for STR investment properties. And if you're interested, reach out to me. Listen, ChatGPT is not evil. It's not malicious. It's just confident, overconfident. And when you're dealing with something as high stakes as real estate investing, confidence without accuracy is deadly. AI is scraping the internet, but it's not keeping up with the nuance, the local bans, the new ballot measures, the caps that sell out in months. So my advice to you STR investors to protect yourself, use AI for ideas, but not for the final word. Always check the actual ordinance. Call the planning department, the licensing department. And yeah, work with an agent that knows this stuff. Do not allow an algorithm to decide your financial future. Okay, so what is my favorite Airbnb market in Colorado right now? This market combines 2 of my favorite criteria. Number 1, strong demand. Duh, you want to buy where people want to visit, right? It's close to an affluent city with the state's most prominent university, has great access to outdoors. And number 2, and maybe even more important to me, is that this area does have a cap on the number of STR licenses available, but it has not hit that cap. So why do I find that so attractive? Well, if you can get in, then at some point in the future, all of your competition will be artificially capped. The market I'm talking about is Boulder County. Do not confuse this with the city of Boulder, which again does not allow Airbnb investment properties. I'm talking about unincorporated Boulder County outside to the west of Boulder. It's absolutely stunning up there. Fishing, hiking, rock climbing, mountain biking. Skiing is not that far away if you want to go to Eldora or even Granby. But the biggest draw to Boulder County is just down the hill in Boulder City. The county is broken up into 3 zones for STR purposes. 2 of those zones allow for non-owner occupied vacation rentals, and both of those zones currently have licenses available, but that will not last forever. Remember when I mentioned 100% bonus depreciation earlier? Well, if you want to know more about how buying an Airbnb can help you write off hundreds of thousands of dollars on your taxes, then check out this next video. If you're interested in buying in Colorado, find my email in the description below, and thanks for watching.